Hey guys, welcome back to Rebuild Reality. So I had one of the subscribers ask a question and I thought it would be something others would be interested in as well. So I'm making a video about it. So this is for our subscriber, we'll call him QM. Hey QM. And he had a question and he said, basically, I'm awake. I'm self-realized. I got there. Now what? So we're going to cover that, and we're going to cover some more things as well. Like what gets you there, what gets you across that threshold. So first of all, what do you do when you're there? Well, you stop taking everything so seriously because you can't take anything seriously anymore. You're like, this is all me. This is all my doing, all of it. So you just want to laugh. You want to laugh. I find that I laugh. Like sometimes I can't stop myself, I'll have to retake videos because I'm just like busting up, and it's like on my own comedy show, so you don't take anything seriously. You start laughing. You want to have fun. You just want to have fun. You want to finally, because you stop taking it seriously, you're like, there's all this stuff I can do. There's all this enjoyment and fun to be had, and you want to partake of it. You're like, if I'm here in this experience, I want the most amazing experience ever. What is it that I want? And you start creating that because that that you can. Because you've gotten to that point where you're no longer in that separation consciousness. So what's that mean? It means that you are no longer listening to your egoic mind, the one that's all full of fear, that's all full of those people, others, what can harm you, whatever. That's like being in a real state of separation. And you can see people getting into more and more and more and more and more collectively into a state of separation, as they begin to wake up. You start to see more, first you don't see anything at all. And then you're like, ooh, 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 it's kind of like that. So, and then you realize, because the more you look at it, the more you create it. So the more separation you perceive, then the more you see. But it's just like that, it's just because it's a self-fulfilling thing. Your beliefs will fulfill themselves. Who you identify as, because at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to. Who do you identify as? Who do you see yourself as? The person who has what you want, or the person who doesn't have what you want, who's trying to get what you want, who's trying to manifest what you want, who's trying to create what you want? Or are you like, yeah, I am all of this. You recognize I'm all of this. That everything is oneness, that everything is wholeness. You feel one with everything because you get it, that you are, that as you move, it moves. It's reflecting you. It's all about your identification. So once you've realized that I am all that is, well, then you realize you can be anything you want. Then you get to play with all of this stuff. Then you get to have fun because you left that whole 3D mind of separation, that voice that keeps telling you that it's you, but at the same time knows zero about you, absolutely zero about you. Doesn't know who you really are. Doesn't know where you came from before you got here. Doesn't know why you came here. Doesn't know how any of this works. And and even logically, if you look at it logically, it's like, well, it keeps saying it knows that you have to listen to it or else. Because it's all about fear. If you don't do what I say, you've had it. You have had it. And so we're like, oh God, I better do what it says, because everyone else is doing what their mind says, so I better do that too. And of course, even logically, if you distance yourself from it just for a moment and look at it and be like, has that worked? Has doing life that way, has it worked? How long have you tried it? How long has it been? I think everyone can agree it's been a really long time and you still haven't really gotten the life that you want. So because that's the false identity, that's the false one. Because your natural state of being is one of bliss, is one of love. It's happiness, it's fulfillment. You're naturally fulfilled because you naturally know, you're all of it. You recognize that fact because you're agreeing, not because of like some process or something that's been bestowed on you or that you are finally good enough. It's not any of that. It's only that you finally agreed to leave the egoic mind and all of its bull, what, behind, and take on the identification of, yeah, I agree. I finally will agree that I am the creator of my reality. I'm one, everything that shows up, I'm going to take a look at it, and then once you do, the more you look at things that way, the more they start to prove themselves to you. Just like if you have a belief about, like, the car's going to break down. The car's going to break down. Like one of my exes, and he was like, the car's going to break down. Do you think it's going to break down every time we got in the car? Do you think it's going to break down? No, I don't think it's going to break down. Well, but as soon as I left, you know what happened? Well, it broke down. Of course, because I was like, no. And so when I was there, it was no. But when I left, which is another story, then of course it broke down, So, because that was his perception. Cars break down. I got to worry about it. Do you think it's going to happen? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Well, then of course it's going to happen. So he was the person who identified as the one where his car broke down. So look at how you identify yourself. Are you the one that is the creator of this world? Are you the one that is the victim and all this stuff happens to you? You got no control. Anything across the board from top to bottom, no matter what it is that you're thinking, is that what you want? Is what you are thinking and believing about yourself, what you're worthy of, what you're going to get, is that what you want? Because otherwise, don't think of that. Don't think that way about yourself. You got to think way, way better about yourself, like 1 billion times better about yourself. Because that's the truth, is that you already are perfect. You already are whole and complete right here, right now. That's your true identity. It's not the other one. That's just part of the hardware. The 3D mind, the egoic mind that's talking in your head all day long is not supposed to be running your life. It's just part of this system. But it's convinced you that it is you because it doesn't even know what it is. It doesn't even know who or what it is, which is actually nothing really. It's just part of this illusion. So, but it's taken over. It's like, I'm in charge, I'm you. And you're like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. I can't remember. So, okay, tell me what to do. And it's like, okay, great. We're on the same page, Not that I want to make bad guys or something like that, but it's just part of the illusion that we end up creating. So it's just that. It's just that. We just go from believing that we don't have into believing that, yeah, I can do anything. Absolutely anything. And that's the truth. That's the truth of who you are. Absolutely 100%. And once you do, sky's the limit. Now you can fly. Now you can have fun. Now you can do all the things you've ever wanted to do. Now you can even think of way more things that you want to do. And that you know that you're like, and that's all it is. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be your identification, right? I'm the person who creates miracles. That's who I am. That's who I am. You believe that? That is who you will be. You will be the person who creates miracles. Because you identified, you accepted that identification instead of accepted, some identification that your parents gave you or, that your kids at school, put on you and you came to believe it, which has nothing to do who, you really are because they don't know who you really are, and you just accepted what they said. It was all that was. because you're not any of those things. You're not anything that anyone tells you, because they can't see, right? They're just this reflection of that 3D mind, you know, going on. Like I said, I don't want to make bad guys, but it's just the perception here, you know, and in order to explain it, we have to have some way of explaining it. So it's just not that. It's not that mindset, that belief in separation, in fear, which is what the 3D mind does. So what we are, like I've said before, is consciousness, right? So people say it's consciousness. It's awareness. What are you aware of? It's mind. What's in your mind? What are you thinking about? That's it. What do you think about? What do you believe? It's all of that process. It's all of that that you are. You are all mind. Everything is mind. All of it. What mind does is it thinks and it creates. It creates things that it's created also this perception that we can go into that makes it look real. That makes it look like, ooh, there's other people to have experiences with. You know? But we started believing in it. We started believing in our own creation. We started believing in our own hallucination. Oh my God, it's true. You know, it's like, no, it's not true. You know, it's not real. It's just this, oops, I'm hitting my table. It's just an experience, just to have, like, it's supposed to be to have a good time, it's supposed to be have fun, but we keep identifying ourselves wrong, and that's all it is. That's all it is, right? So everything is mind. Everything is made of mind. We can call it that. And that's what you are. You are all mind. And as all mind, how do you work best? Well, the 3D egoic mind, if we're perceiving it that way, tends to have a hard focus. It tightens up. It points. I'm going to push, 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 you know. I'm going to push, I'm going to focus, and I'm, you know, going to really make this thing happen. Well, that becomes the small disconnected you. That's when mind, which is all places, all times, with all information, access to all things, all solutions, you name it, solidifies instead of this open flowing state where it's, because your mind is supposed to be like, it's not just like in, and it's around your body, it's out here, it's out there, it's everywhere. You're connected to that mind, that you, true you. You're not connected to this, let's put it back, let's put it all in here, let's collapse it all into this tiny solid thing that can't move, that can't access all of this. And that's what the 3D mind, it's like, it's that hard focus. And what happens is when it solidifies like that into one point, it stops. That's why, you know, when we're in that fear place, like you're in a test and it's like, you have 30 minutes to answer 200 questions. And you're like, you go offline there, you know, because you cut yourself off so much, you know, when we're in the state of fear. When we're in the 3D state, which is in the panic, the push, the go, 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 you know, king of the mountain, winner takes all, you know, loser. So that's why we have to, we're not that, no. You are all of that. You are all mind. Every single bit of it. And I don't mean by that like hive mind. I mean the all mind. The mind of the all that is. And when you are like, you realize it's just simply what you identify as. And it's not like the stuff comes and then I'll feel good. Oh, you feel the peace, the love, the bliss, that you are that thing, the connectedness. You feel that first, then you get it. That's just how it works. Because remember, it's like that mirror kind of principle where things are backwards. So we keep trying to the other approach where it's like, when it shows up, then I'll go into my natural state of being. Then I'll be happy and blissful and loving and peaceful and kind and all that stuff. It's like, no, you go into that state where of your true nature, open, flowing, you, where you're identifying as all that is. So nothing's a problem because you got it all. You got it all, like we were talking about yesterday, that whole mansion story. Is this your place or not? Do you have it all or not? you know? So that's what it really just kind of boils down to, you know? That's how you get your stuff, you know? But it's not really about all of it. It's not about manifesting a thing out of everything. Why do you just want a thing? The point is not to manifest a thing. It's about knowing that you are all things. And when you are all things, you go back into your relaxed, natural, happy state of being, you know? And when you understand that you are all that is, and you're not in that state of a separated consciousness, you're not in a state of fear, you're in a state of wholeness, you're in a state of oneness, because you put yourself there. You decided that was more important than anything else. And when you realize it's all you, because you're all mind, and you accept that identity, life turns on its head. Life changes, you know, it flips, where suddenly then everything works in your favor. So it's the same thing about identifying as love, identify as bliss, identify as happiness, you know, identify as oneness, as fulfillment. I am fulfillment. I am that. I'm perfect fulfillment. You take on, that's my name tag now. You know, you take on the identification, then you become it. And what better identification to take on than the one who is all things? Because that's your true identification, and that's really the kind of the whole point here. And then you have fun. Then you enjoy yourself. Then you do all the things you've ever wanted to do. And you ask for more. And that's when, like I say, life gets worth living. So I hope that has helped in that respect. And yeah, thanks guys for being here. Thanks for doing all that subscribing, liking, and everything like that. And I'll see you guys here next time. And rebuild reality.